The second capacity I think you need to develop in this year 2019 is your intellectual capacity. Your intellectual capacity is necessary as a basis to be able to translate your vision into reality. Friend, there is a place for skill. There is a place for know-how. There is a place for understanding how things work, how to make things happen, how to move from point A to point B. The Bible tells us that the sacrifice, the labor of a fool, wearieth everyone, for he knoweth not how to get into a city. The lack of knowledge will always make even God's people to suffer. So it's important that we develop our intellectual capacity. Of course, there is no end to knowledge, we know that. But in the area of your vision, in the area of your pursuit, one of the most intriguing things I've found as a pastor and a leader is that there are many people you meet year in, year out, they are still operating with the same knowledge of the old. They are expecting new results, new outcomes, but with the knowledge of the old. How does it work? Life is dynamic. Knowledge is progressive. The world is moving. You cannot remain on the same spot thinking that the world owes you a responsibility to keep blessing you when you have refused to be able to move on. So one capacity you must, as a matter of choice, necessity and compulsion, build in this year in order to guarantee your phenomenal result is your intellectual capacity. In the area of your profession, in the area of your pursuit and your habits, it's time to deepen your knowledge. It's time to expand your horizon. It's time to ask fresh questions, get to know new things. The people the things you never knew before. It's time to go for it. It's time to trust the Lord to teach you. It's time to trust friends to show you. It's time to look at books, big tapes, go to conferences. Just expand your knowledge base so that by virtue of the force of knowledge, you can excel in a better dimension. The third capacity I want to encourage you in 2019 to build is your emotional capacity. You've got to build what is called your EQ, your emotional quotient. It's not just enough to build your IQ, your intellectual quotient, but you must build your EQ. What's that? That talks about your staying power, your ability to stand. That thing that makes you not to give up in the face of adversity. That makes you to be tenacious, like a bulldog, to hang on tough and tight, not to resign or cave in or give in, not to give up no matter the adversity, because you are strong in your mind. You know, in the book of Proverbs chapter 24 and verse 10, the Bible says, when you faint in the day of adversity, it's not because the trouble is big, it's because your strength is small. Or put another way, if you build your emotional capacity, your emotional intelligence, your ability to withstand in the midst of trouble. Haven't you seen people who are the first sound of the battle, they take to their heels, while others dig in, while others trudge on, while others continue, believing that there is nothing that can stop them. The difference between those who resign, who give in, who surrender before the first shot is even fired is a function of their emotional intelligence. People who are emotionally strong, when people laugh at them, they just brush it off. When people doubt them, they just brush them aside. When people, slander them, they just take their attention off because they know that what is ahead of them is bigger and better than what is behind them. And that takes a measure of emotional capacity. So you need to build your emotional capacity to withstand the adversities of life that will definitely come your way.